Okay, this is lesson P.5, prerequisite section 5, algebraic expressions. So I want to take just a second and think about this definition. You know some of these words. Constants would be like a number, like 5 would be a constant. It's not a coefficient, like 2x, that's a coefficient. Constant is just a number, it's not attached to a variable. Variables, like x or y or so forth, and exponents. Now the thing with exponents that's interesting here is there's a special rule, which is that exponents must be non-negative integers. So hopefully you know what some of those words mean. Integers like -3, -2, -1, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. They don't have decimals, they can be positive or negative. When it says non-negative, that means 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you can have an exponent of 0, that's okay, but you can't have exponents that are negative, which are combined using addition, subtraction, multiplication, but not division. So if you're dividing, that's not good. So here are some examples here. Let's pick out the polynomial. So this one would be a classic polynomial. Has a constant there, has a variable, the exponent is 1, you're cool. This one is sneaky. The reason it goes over here actually has to do with this guy right here. That's really x to the 1/2 power, which means that's not an integer, so it's not a polynomial. So that's not a polynomial. Here it's not a polynomial because of division. Right? You can't divide. This is clearly a polynomial. These are classic polynomials. Notice they go descending order degree, 6th degree, 4th degree, 3rd degree. Here again, polynomial. That's the idea. So add, subtract polynomials. Some of this, here you go. This is a piece of cake. Hopefully you remember how to do this. Try this on your own. And then follow me. Make sure you take care of this guy. Everything is being subtracted here in the parentheses. So oftentimes your teacher may have told you something like keep change or something. So change the sign, distribute the negative inside of there, and now we can just combine like terms. So it just becomes a normal problem now. So it'll be -3x squared. The x squareds go together. -3x plus -2x is -5x, and 5 plus 8 is plus 13. And you know how to do problems like that. I think you know how to do these. In fact, you might have a fancy name called FOIL to do these kinds of things. First times first is 6x squared outside plus 8x inside minus 15x and last minus 20. Typically, the two middle guys go together. 6x squared minus 7x minus 20. And you got it. And next page. So this is one you might have seen before. You really have, some people call it the clam. This is multiplied by everything over there, so that would be 3x to the 3rd minus 12x squared plus 21x and this is multiplied by all three also, so plus 2x squared. Put that over here. Some students do this, plus 2x squared minus 8x plus 14. It's just easier if you do it this way. Then you add like terms, so you get 3x cubed minus 10x squared. Let's see, plus 13x plus 14. Real easy to make a mistake on one of those. These are shortcuts. If you choose to use them, you don't have to. You can multiply everything out the long way, but it's really handy if you know the shortcuts. You want to memorize this. This is one you will know. It's very important. We use it all the time. In algebra 2, if you think about it, your A is like your X here. And your B is like your 4. And so if you just apply the formula here, well, this must equal A squared, which is X squared, minus 4 times 4 is 16. So that's your answer. You did there that quick. Saved a little time. The reason that works is because if you do inside and outside and add those together, guess what? 4x plus negative 4x cancels out. When it's in this form, it's always going to do that. It's always going to cancel out really nicely there. This is just a little harder, a little bit more difficult problem here as far as see the pattern here of the difference in squares. Just want you to see something like this. So with this one, you can see that the A is 2x and the B is y. Notice it's not negative y, it's just y. One of those is plus, one of those is minus. So A squared would be 2x squared, the quantity, minus B squared, which is y squared. This would be 4x squared minus y squared. You got it. Another shortcut, should you choose to use it, is this one. Memorize it. It's going to save you time if you know it. You don't have to memorize this. You don't have to use this one. It's just kind of neat to use this. It's neat to get used to using a formula. So A squared would be x squared plus 2 times x times 2, or 2 times 2x, plus 2 squared. And just simplify that guy, x squared plus 4x plus 4. It just goes a little bit faster if you know that shortcut. Here's another shortcut, square of a difference. So this case would be x squared minus 2 times A times B. B is just 3y here. B is not minus negative 3y. Be careful on that. So A times that would be 3xy plus B squared would be 9y squared. This goes together. Oops, this goes together to make minus 6xy. And there's another one here. It's kind of neat. A plus B quantity cubed is that. So using the formula, this would be x cubed plus 3 times x squared times 1 plus 3 times x times 1 squared plus 1 to the third, which is 1. That's pretty quick. If you know that formula, that saved a lot of time. Because if you did this the old-fashioned way, it'd have to be x plus 1 times x plus 1. You FOIL that, you get a result, and then you multiply that result by another x plus 1. So it'll be a lot of multiplying. You're saving yourself some time here. Kind of a challenge question. Of those 4 we just went over, which form does this one fit? Stop at it and give yourself a chance to figure that out. I'll go ahead and tell you. If you look at this, kind of like this, it's a sneaky way of doing this problem. Do you see the form now? A minus B times A plus B. The A is this guy and the B is this guy. So using that form, you're going to get A squared minus B squared. So here, the answer would be x plus y squared, which is a squared, minus 1 squared, or in other words, x squared plus 2xy plus y squared plus negative 1 or minus 1. I guess I should say minus 1 there. Just naturally said plus. So that would be your answer, saving you lots and lots of time. If you just FOIL that out and subtract 1, you've got it. That's your lesson.